Your Mazda dealership doesn't want you to see this video. Every hidden trick on this list they had access to and never told you, because a customer who knows their car doesn't come back for help they don't actually need. Most owners think their Mazda is just a Mazda. It's not. It's been hiding tricks from you since day one. Today we expose 11 of them. Number 1 alone could save you thousands. Let's start with number 11. Number 11. The battery saver trick, hiding in your key fob. Here is a fact that will annoy you the moment you hear it. Your key fob has a hidden battery saver mode, and almost nobody knows the button combo to switch it on. Press the lock button 5 times in a row, and your fob quietly slips into a low power state that stretches its battery life far longer than normal. Why does this matter? Because a dead fob at the worst possible moment, like standing in a parking lot in the middle of a downpour with your arms full of groceries, is one of the most avoidable annoyances in car ownership. Most Mazda key fobs run on a simple 3-volt coin cell battery, the exact same kind used in wristwatches and kitchen scales, which means anyone can swap it themselves in under a minute with a small screwdriver. No dealership visit and no appointment required. Most owners just replace that battery every year out of habit and never think twice about extending its life instead. A typical key fob battery costs only a few dollars, but the towing bill or the locksmith call-out fee for a fob that dies at the worst possible moment can run into the hundreds, all to fix a problem. 5 button presses could have prevented months earlier. It sounds like a tiny detail, and it is, but tiny details are exactly what separates owners who know their car from owners who just drive it and hope for the best. If you are enjoying this so far, hit that subscribe button now, because the next 5 tips genuinely get better from here. Now, here's the thing though. This same little fob is hiding a second secret, one that could genuinely save you when the battery actually does die completely, no matter how careful you are. And that secret takes us straight into number 10. Number 10. Rain sensing wipers. Rain sensing wipers sound like a gimmick until the sky opens up on the highway and both your hands are full just trying to keep the car straight in a crosswind. Certain Mazda models let you flip the wiper stalk into auto mode, and from there, sensors measure how hard the rain is actually falling and adjust wiper speed in real time without you touching a single dial. Light drizzle gets a slow, lazy wipe that barely uses any power. A sudden downpour gets a fast, frantic sweep that keeps your windshield clear the instant water hits it. Drivers who rely on manual wiper settings often either underwipe during a sudden storm, losing visibility for a crucial second or two, or overwipe during light rain, which just wears down the blades faster than necessary. According to several longtime Mazda owners on forums dedicated to the brand, switching to auto mode and simply leaving it there is one of those changes you make once and never think about again. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, roughly 70% of weather-related crashes happen on wet pavement, and nearly half of those happen while rain is actively falling, which means something as simple as a wiper blade falling half a second behind a sudden downpour genuinely matters. The sensor responsible for all of this sits quietly behind your rearview mirror, using infrared light bounced off the inside of the windshield to measure exactly how much moisture is sitting on the glass at any given moment, adjusting wiper speed instantly without a single dial ever being touched. It is the kind of feature that quietly saves you from a near miss you will never even know you avoided, because the crash that never happens does not exactly show up in your memory. And speaking of things you will never know about unless someone tells you, your Mazda is also hiding entire storage spaces you have probably walked past 100 times without noticing. That is number 9, coming right up. But first, if this is already surprising you a little, do us a favor and smash that like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow more than you would think, and it costs you nothing. Number 9. Hidden storage spaces. Ask most Mazda owners where their car's storage is, and they will point at the glove box and the trunk. That is it. That is the whole answer. And it is only half true. Meanwhile, there is a small compartment tucked under the dashboard to the left of the steering wheel, the perfect size for sunglasses, a spare phone charger, or all that loose change you keep losing in the seat cracks. Then there is the trunk, which hides an even bigger secret. Lift the floor panel, and you will find another compartment sitting underneath, ideal for tools, an emergency kit, a first aid kit, or snacks for a long road trip with the kids. 2 entire storage zones sitting there the whole time, completely ignored by owners who assumed their car simply did not have room for anything extra. It almost feels like Mazda engineers built these spaces as a quiet reward for owners curious enough to actually go looking under things, instead of just accepting what is in front of them. Certain Mazda models also hide a slide-out tray tucked beneath the front center armrest, easy to miss completely unless you actually lift the lid and feel around underneath the phone tray sitting on top of it. Meanwhile, that underdash compartment has apparently saved more than a few owners from losing house keys, parking garage tickets, or spare cash somewhere in the depths of a messy center console. It costs nothing to check. It takes about 10 seconds, and there's a decent chance you will find your car has been quietly offering you free storage this entire time. Storage you paid for the moment you bought the car, but never actually used. Think about how often you rummage through a cluttered glove box looking for a single charging cable, when a dedicated, purpose-built spot has been sitting empty just inches away the whole time, completely unused. And speaking of things built as quiet rewards for curious owners, your car is also constantly having a silent conversation with your fuel door that most drivers have never noticed happening at all. That brings us to number 8. Number 8. Auto-locking fuel door. Here is a small design choice that solves a problem you did not even know you had. On a Mazda, the fuel filler door is wired to lock and unlock in sync with the rest of the car's doors. Lock the car, and the fuel door locks right along with it. Unlock the car, and the fuel door unlocks too, with no separate button to press and no extra lever buried somewhere in the trunk that you have to remember exists. It sounds simple, almost too simple to even mention on a list like this, but think about what it actually prevents. Fuel theft has been a real problem in some areas, especially when gas prices spike and people get desperate enough to siphon from parked cars overnight. A locked fuel door, tied automatically to the rest of your car's security, removes an entire category of that risk without you lifting a finger or remembering to flip a separate switch. Think about how many older cars still require a manual fuel door release lever tucked down near the driver's seat. One more thing to remember. One more thing that can jam or get forgotten in a rush. Mazda quietly skipped that whole problem by tying it directly to the central locking system instead, so the security you already trust for your doors automatically covers your fuel door too. One small piece of engineering, quietly working in the background for the entire time you own the car, never once asking for your attention, never once needing a firmware update or a trip back to the dealership to keep functioning exactly as intended, year after year, no matter how many times you lock and unlock the car in a single day. But locks are only half the story here, because your Mazda also runs an entire quiet routine behind the scenes to make sure you actually lock the car properly every single time you walk away from it. That takes us to number 7. Number 7. Walk away. Auto. Lock. Walk-away lock is one of those features people either love instantly or find mildly infuriating, usually because nobody ever explains how it actually works under the hood. Close your doors and the car gives a single beep. Keep walking, and once you are far enough away, it gives a second beep and locks itself automatically behind you, no fob press required. The trick, and this is the part almost nobody gets right the first time, is training yourself to listen specifically for that second beep every single time you leave the car. Walk away too quickly and you might miss it. Bring a passenger who lingers near the car chatting on their phone, and the system can get confused about whether everyone has actually left, sometimes leaving your doors unlocked without you realizing it until much later. Keyless systems like this one rely on a short-range signal from your fob, typically just a few feet, and a bulky keychain loaded down with metal carabiners or bottle openers can sometimes interfere with that signal, which is part of why the system occasionally seems to miss its cue. The fix is refreshingly simple once you know it. Wait for 2 beeps, not 1, and if you ever have a passenger dawdling nearby, just press the lock button on your fob manually to be absolutely certain. It takes a few days of conscious effort to build the habit, and then it becomes second nature, like checking your mirrors before changing lanes. Some owners even set a personal rule of pressing the lock button on the fob every single time they walk away with a passenger. No exceptions, just to remove any chance of the system misreading the situation. It sounds excessive until the one time it actually saves you from an unlocked car sitting in a sketchy part of town overnight, with a wallet, a laptop bag, or a set of golf clubs sitting right there in plain view for anyone to find. Speaking of features that depend entirely on timing, your side mirrors are hiding a small party trick of their own, one that kicks in the exact moment you shift into reverse. That is number 6. Number 6, the reverse mirror. Tilt. Here is one that genuinely surprises people the very first time they see it happen in front of them. Shift your Mazda into reverse, and on models with this feature enabled, the mirror on the side you have selected automatically tilts downward, giving you a much clearer view of the curb or the parking lines running alongside your car. No more guessing how close you actually are to that curb. No more scraping a wheel rim because you misjudged a gap by 2 or 3 inches while a line of cars waits impatiently behind you. Shift back into drive or neutral, and the mirror smoothly returns to its normal position automatically, as if nothing ever happened at all. It is a small piece of automation that solves a problem almost every driver has faced at some point, usually in front of an audience, usually at the worst possible time. Curb rash on a wheel rim is not cheap to fix either, and plenty of owners have paid a body shop a few $100s to buff out damage that this one setting could have prevented entirely. If only they had known it existed in the first place, sitting there in the settings the whole time, completely free to switch on. If you did not know your mirrors were capable of that, imagine what else is buried quietly in your car's settings menu, just waiting for someone curious enough to go digging for it. Quick question before we move on. Have you ever actually replaced your fob battery before it died on you? Or did you wait until it left you stranded first? Drop your answer in the comments below. We are genuinely curious just how common this one really is among people watching right now. Number 5 is next, and it involves a safety system most drivers assume they have zero control over. Number 5. The steering assist settings. Lane keep assist has a bit of a reputation problem, feeling either helpful or downright annoying, depending entirely on how sensitive it happens to be set from the factory. What most drivers never realize is that this sensitivity is not fixed in stone at all. Dig into the safety settings menu and you will find you can choose between an early or late steering assist timing setting, controlling exactly how soon or how late the system nudges you back toward center when you start drifting out of your lane. Prefer a gentle early warning before you have even fully noticed you drifted. Set it to early and let the car catch things before you do. Find early intervention twitchy, intrusive, or just plain annoying on long straight highway stretches. Switch it to late and let the system wait until the drift is more obvious before it steps in and corrects you. The point here is bigger than just this one setting. You are not stuck with whatever configuration the factory happened to choose for you on the assembly line. Your car is far more adjustable than the owner's manual ever makes it seem. Buried under menus most people never open past the first week of ownership. Owners who complain that their car's safety systems feel intrusive are frequently just one settings menu away from a completely different experience, and most never realize it because nobody at the dealership ever walks them through it during a rush delivery appointment focused mostly on paperwork and financing options rather than actual features. That same philosophy carries over into how your doors lock, how long your lights stay on, and even when your headlights shut off after you park. Which brings us straight to number 4. Number 4, the hidden settings menu. Somewhere deep inside your Mazda's settings menu sits a small control panel that most owners never open, and it quietly controls far more than you would expect it to. You can adjust exactly how long your headlights stay on after you shut off the engine, which is genuinely handy for walking to your front door on a dark night without fumbling around for your phone flashlight in your pocket. You can set your doors to automatically lock once the car reaches a certain speed, adding an entire extra layer of security without you lifting a single finger while you drive. You can even control precisely when your doors unlock in relation to shifting into park, whether that means unlocking immediately or waiting until you actually open the driver's door yourself. None of this comes pre-explained at the dealership, and most sales staff do not have time to walk every buyer through a settings menu during a rushed handover. Most owners drive off the lot with every single setting left on factory default, never realizing just how much of their car's daily behavior is actually theirs to shape and adjust to their own preferences. Spend just 15 minutes scrolling through this menu one evening, and there's a good chance you will find at least 2 or 3 small annoyances you have been quietly tolerating for months simply because nobody ever told you they were adjustable in the first place. Whether that is headlights staying on a touch too long, doors that unlock a beat too early, or auto-lock speed thresholds that never quite matched how you actually drive around your own neighborhood every single day. And speaking of things, dealerships rarely mention during that same rushed handover, there is an emergency trick hiding inside your key system that could genuinely save you on the side of the road one frustrating day. That is number 3. Number 3, the emergency fob trick. Picture this scenario for a second. Your key fob battery dies completely without warning, and you are standing next to a car with a push-button start system and seemingly no obvious way to get inside. Do not panic just yet. Most Mazda fobs hide a small mechanical key inside them, tucked behind a tiny latch you need to slide or gently pull to release from the fob's body. That mechanical key gets you into the car itself, no problem. But starting the engine is a completely different challenge, since push-button start systems normally need to detect the fob electronically before they will fire up. Here's the trick that solves it. Press the brake pedal firmly, then hold the dead fob directly against the start-stop button on the dashboard. The tiny chip inside the fob can still communicate with the car at extremely close range, even with a battery that has been completely drained for weeks, and this quiet handshake lets the car start up completely normally. It is the kind of trick that sounds fake right up until the moment you desperately need it in a parking lot at midnight, and then it feels like pure magic. Plenty of owners have paid for an emergency locksmith or an expensive tow purely because they assumed a dead fob meant a dead car, when in reality the fix was sitting in their pocket the entire time, free of charge and 30 seconds away, hiding inside the very fob they were holding in their hand the whole time, completely unaware of what it could still do even after the battery had given out. Speaking of things that feel like magic, the very first time you witness them, your key fob has one more button most owners have never pressed on purpose in their entire ownership experience, and it might be the single most important button on the whole thing. Number 2 is coming up next. Number 2, the panic button. Look closely at your key fob right now. And on many Mazda models, you will spot a small button marked with an exclamation point, easy to overlook and easy to assume is purely decorative or some kind of leftover design filler. It is neither. Press and hold that button for 1 second or longer, and it triggers the car's alarm, horn, and hazard lights all at the same time, continuing loudly for a full 2 minutes and 30 seconds, unless you cancel it early by pressing any other button on the fob. This is a genuine panic feature, built for exactly the kind of situation nobody enjoys thinking about ahead of time. Walking to your car completely alone late at night, feeling uneasy in an empty parking garage with footsteps behind you, needing to draw immediate attention from anyone nearby, fast, without fumbling for a phone. A loud, flashing, impossible to ignore signal, triggered instantly with a single press of one thumb, loud enough to draw attention from an entire parking structure at once. Personal safety experts often recommend exactly this kind of loud, disorienting distraction as one of the simplest ways to deter someone before a bad situation escalates further. And your Mazda has been carrying that tool around on your keyring this entire time, ready and waiting, without ever once needing to be charged, updated, or downloaded. It is a feature that exists specifically for the worst case scenario you hope you never face, and simply knowing it is sitting there right now, in your pocket or your bag, is genuinely worth remembering the next time you feel even slightly uneasy walking to your car. If you are learning something new here, go ahead and drop a comment telling us which tip on this list surprised you the most, because number 1 is the trick almost every single Mazda owner wishes somebody had told them about years earlier. Number 1. The roll down all windows trick. Here it is, the one that consistently shocks even longtime Mazda owners the very first time they see it actually done in person. Stand outside your locked car, take out your key fob, and press the unlock button 4 times in quick succession, holding it down firmly on that 4th and final press. Keep holding it, and every single window in the car will begin rolling down at once, in sync, with no need to reach inside and absolutely no need to start the engine first. It is perfect for a car that has been baking under direct sun in a parking lot all day, letting all that trapped, stifling heat escape before you even open the door and climb inside. There is one important catch worth remembering here though. This trick only rolls windows down. It will not roll them back up for you, so do not attempt it right before rain starts falling. And always remember to close your windows manually before walking away from your car for the day. It is simple, it is oddly satisfying every single time you do it, and it is solid proof that the most impressive features on any car are often the ones buried furthest from plain sight, waiting patiently for someone curious enough to go looking. Try it once on a hot afternoon, standing a few steps away from your car, and watch every window drop in unison. It genuinely never gets old, and it is the kind of trick you will end up showing off to every single passenger who ever climbs into your car from this point forward, watching their reaction the exact same way yours probably looked the very first time you saw it done. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you found these hidden Mazda tricks helpful, let us know exactly which one you're trying first down in the comments below, and tell us if you already knew any of these before today. Want to see even more hidden features like these from other brands and models explained in the same quick and easy way? Click the video right there on your screen. It is exactly what you are looking for next. And if you do not want to miss more Mazda secrets like these in the future, hit that subscribe button before you go. It genuinely helps more than you know, and it takes less time than that fuel door does to lock.